Hey, back here with Soul Reaver 2 again. Hopefully we can finish it off this evening. I went back a little bit to one of the former saves because I did in fact go the wrong way. So instead of forcing you to watch me run all the way back, I just went back to the older save. How to make things a little bit quicker. Oh god. Here in the past of Nosgoth, where the Seraphans still roam. Regularly, instead of walk through when I would finish my last stream. And it was like, yeah, return to the ruins of Uxtenstein. I was like, oh, fuck. I went the wrong way. Still going the wrong way.
For all the butchery of Mobius's crusade, this massacre was somehow more chilling. The killing fields of the Sarafan betrayed a kind of orderly ruthlessness, the cold-blooded righteousness of the true believer. Right fucking there. Jesus Christ. I could not see that. I don't want to. There we go.
By all that is holy!
Here at last, in the flesh, I beheld my former brothers in arms, the warrior priests of the Sarafan Order, their lives devoted solely to the annihilation of the vampire plague. And while I confess, I felt a twinge of longing, a pang of grief for what I had believed was my lost virtue, I regarded them now with none of the reverence I formerly felt. For I had seen the human face of the vampires, and now I beheld the monstrousness of these men.
mean, really, Raziel, what vampires did you meet? You met Vorador, and that was about it. Don't get me wrong, Vorador's cool and all, but hey, fuck off.
Return to hell.
I understand there was a cut character that would later become, I believe her name's Uma in Blood Omen 2. Alright. A sword. Waiting on that cutscene to end.
Return to hell.
I don't want to fight this. Jackass.
Return to hell.
Stop stabbing. This is not the game to play if you want to get your combat fixed. Go ahead, okay. Right, that shit.
Free your soul, demon.
No.
Free your soul, demon.
No. Stop it.
Over there.
Simon Templeman Seraphim. Basically, all the voice actors play double duty to voice. Oh god, Steve Snow. Voice other characters. Oh.
Return to hell.
Hell yeah.
Free your soul, demon.
Snow bunny.
Return to hell.
It's like the combat's ramping up a little bit, throwing more Seraphim at you, making it a little more complicated, but it's just not fun to fight in this game.
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Audrin's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well, for I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle. How to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
I remember when I first played this on the PlayStation 2, being incredibly impressed that you would leave footprints in the snow when you walked. It was like, wow! Graphics. Also doesn't hurt that he has nice crunchy footprints when he walks in this thing. Oh, you're supposed okay. I gotta go out and get that Dark Reaper. Think so. Okay, go out and get the Dark Reaper.
There's another one.
Yep, here I am.
Return to hell. Return to hell.
I'll take that. Oh yeah. Blood ramp.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators. As with the outer facade, these balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted with flight. With only my ruined wings to carry me, this towering labyrinth seemed impassable, while the object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp. For here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself. I didn't know whether Janos Ordran was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. And I didn't care. Demon or angel, he alone held the key to my destiny.
chalice. Just like there's There's no weight to the blows. Even the sound effects don't have heft to them. It's just the chore. It reminds me a little bit of Assassin's Creed 1 combat. But, Assassin's Creed 1 has relatively clunky combat. It's better than this, don't get me wrong. But the real key to the fun of Assassin's Creed 1 combat is the hidden blade counters. Once I figured out that you could counter with the hidden blade in every instance, I had a ridiculously good time just dodging and fucking stabbing people in the neck with that hidden blade. The rest of the games in the series didn't quite give me that visceral joy of just being able to completely break combat. Oh shit, okay. Sure. Like, Assassin's Creed 2 had more refined combat, but it was not as fun as Assassin's Creed 1 and the hidden blade counter. There is no greater joy than fucking hidden blade countering the final boss and killing him in one hit. And it's really a testament to how not very fun this combat is that I'm sitting here talking about Assassin's Creed combat rather than the combat in this game. Another big disappointment in this game is the utter lack of bosses. The bosses in the original Soul Reaver weren't spectacular. They mostly... It was interesting designs and shit. But they just kind of did away with them entirely for this. I love me a good boss battle. And for the record, yes, I love Shadow of the Colossus. Ah! Got like stuck. Okay. Yes. Do need to play the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, though. Yeah, fuck, you're doing things in order. I gotta get Light Reaver. That on. Okay. Sure. Why not? Hey.
Janos Audrin?
It is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt. Raziel? My child, what have they done to you?
I have been dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why.
For thousands of years I have waited, alone here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade.
And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them?
I don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered. I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague.
Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires?
The pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me, or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile.
I have seen them mustering their forces in the village below.
Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short.
Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them.
They fear what they don't understand. and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them.
Vorador does.
He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them.
Should they be forgiven?
They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation.
So, it's all true then. What Kain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah.
Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps.
I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom.
Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock.
And the Reaver is the key.
Yes.
The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
The most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood.
As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it up. Please, take it away from me.
I fear you have been followed. You must save yourself, Raziel.
Janos! No! My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found myself transported safely away from the ambush to an adjacent chamber. Janos had delivered me from the Sarafan, selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life. And now I feared that my newfound mentor would be slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning horror, I realized that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary, and had arrived bearing Mobius's staff. Thus armed, they had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. But it may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by elemental forces I did not possess. It seemed Janos had conveyed me into the heart of the fire shrine. I thought perhaps if I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time, I might have a slim chance of saving Janos from his grisly fate.
Remastered Journey is voiced by the great Renee Aubert, aka Odo from Deep Space 9. blood, baby. I know what you mean. Oops. What's the next book? Hello there. please.
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
But first, we gotta save.
Hold him! Look at his black heart. How it still beats.
The fiend intends to bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
Remember the sword!
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose.
simply to save your life this once.
While I have taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Raziel. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was, and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Audrin's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors they had sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim Janos Audrin's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self.
Yeah. Okay then. Ah.
You do not belong in this world, damned one. Return to hell.
I have to get back there.
Return to hell.
Good.
That's him! Free your soul, demon!
Oh my god. Of course.
We've been expecting you, little Raziel.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future, for here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
Gauge go down a little bit.
You really think you can save Nosgoth? Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel. There's one!
Guard me, brothers!
No.
There he is, the savior of Nosgoth.
Yeah, don't worry about these actual legit demons here. Worry about the weird vampire guy.
Free your soul, demon.
Let's see over here. Smack him around. Yeah. Oh my fucking no.
There's another one.
No.
By all that is holy. There's another one. Free your soul, demon. Free your soul, demon.
God. Oh, hello. Yeah, let's not do that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Why the fuck do you have the weapon button be the same one that picks up weapons?
Guard me, brothers!
Come closer, Raziel.
Big boy. Right.
You are no threat.
Okay, I do that last time. Over here.
You shall not pass.
Did this run last night, well before I needed to.
have failed me, Raziel.
I wonder, Old One. Did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply there when I awakened from my torment in the abyss? I suspect you found me merely convenient, dropped in your lair by Kain, indestructible for some reason, a durable and gullible tool for you to manipulate. This one thing I readily admit. I have been used by others time and again, but always I seem to stray from their path. What is it about me, demon, that makes me such an unreliable instrument? Why do I survive one trial after another, on and on, in an endless succession of humiliating deaths and resurrections? It seems there is much more to my destiny and my history than I know. Perhaps more than you know as well.
Got shit to say. Swear to God. Sometimes that glide button just does not register. No. Oh, leave me alone.
He thinks he can change his destiny. What a fool.
Yep, there we go. Now I'll put the spectrum around.
Come.
That's about the equivalent of a boss fight that this game will give you.
There's one.
Ow. Something there, I don't remember what though.
There's another one.
Guard me, brothers.
Get him. Return to hell.
Okay. Back here again. Sadly, we will not get the achievement of finishing the game in under 6 hours. We'll be about an hour off, more or less. Oh no. Oh no. Camera, why? Why do you do this to me, camera? Come on.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Guard me, brothers. Guard me, brothers.
You like shooting people while you're shitting down here, don't you? Yeah, fuck. Fuck you.
Get it.
Or not. Cool. here again.
Seize him!
Ain't seizing nobody. Shut up. Okay, final part of the game. Here we go.
Return to hell!
Seize him!
Return to hell!
Suddenly and inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are, finally. You have no choice but to confront me now, and I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Sarafan to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the Circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the Time Streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Call your dogs! They can feast on your corpses!
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The Circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to run loose? Corrupting everything you encounter.
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. But it's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Raziel. Now, Malik. Bolt the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraithblade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
I love this part of the game. That soundbite was from the original Blood Omen, the intro, where Vordor slays the circle.
Come to take your revenge, demon?
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
I love how the blood flows into the Blood Reaver. Yep. It's a very weird choice for a final segment of the game. It's cool and all, but notice the can't eat souls. But notice that your health does not drain in this segment. So, well, this could be considered a boss fight. There's not really any way to lose it.
As Melchiah and Zephon fell before my blade, I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
But the fun thing about that segment where he sees Mobius again is that's why Malik couldn't get to the circle in time. Why he's punished into being a living suit of armor in the original Blood Omen.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Kain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
Can you imagine this finale with like actual combat? It's so very bizarre to me that it's actually better to be wildly swinging without using the lock-on, because when you use the lock-on, they block.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Tyrell, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Tyrell had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafan Tyrell would not. So, vampire, here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Ordrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass? I renounce you. And so it ends. My history comes full circle. Sensing its twin, the Wraithblade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me. This is why the blade was destroyed when Kain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So, this was my terrible destiny. To play out this purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could not bear it. Despair overwhelmed me. You. Are you enjoying this, Kain? Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it. Was this your destiny for me all along? Trust me. I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong. The compulsion to simply let go, too great. And then, a growing sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twin soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant, the glimmer of temporal distortion Kain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin, the minute flicker of probability upon which Kain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Kain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel, Janos must stay dead.
But Kain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.
Hell yeah. Oh, and their bullshit. Fucking. Gotta go watch the actual ending credits. Where are the actual ending credits? Nope, not that one. There we go. Hell yeah. Once again, left with a cliffhanger. I was so mad. So mad that second time in a row the damn game's ended with a fucking cliffhanger. I hope that Embracer releases Blood Omen 2 and Defiance pack next, like they did with this one. That'd be awesome. At least finish off the story into what we have so far. Blood Omen 2, Defiance is okay. They tried to fix the combat a little bit. It's again a little bit better. But ooh boy. I'm just struck by how fucking epic the ending of this game would be as if it was like a challenge and you were actually fighting to slay your brothers and using the Reaver and all that shit. But no. The story was more important, apparently. It was a conscious decision, apparently, that they wanted to move away from bosses and things like that and have the story be the forefront. It's a great story, but you're also a video game. Do cool video game things. That's why I say I wouldn't mind at all a remake of the 3, 4, 5 games in the series. Give it some actual combat. Polish up some of the rough edges. Downside being you're going to lose out on some of the great voice actors. Tony Jay as the Elder God's dead, so he'll never be resuming that role. A couple others died. I'm pretty sure Simon Templeman's still alive, but nobody uses Simon Templeman in anything. He's fucking great as Kain. Michael Bell, of course, but Michael Bell's been in everything forever. Richard Doyle. play Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 4. Paul Lukather did something else too. I forget. Inigo. I don't remember what she did. Next time, put the original game ending credits in the actual fucking game. This is way better than your stupid remake scrolling silent credits. Even though, yes, I realize I'm talking over the cool music. But it was such a pain in the ass finishing this game and then having to wait for Defiance to come out. Because after this is Blood Omen 2. But Blood Omen 2 doesn't really continue the story and was made by a separate team. They were kind of working on the two games in conjunction. They were doing their own thing with Blood Omen. Soul Reaver 2 was doing its own thing. And then Soul Reaver 2 concluded. And they were told, okay, here, put some stuff from Soul Reaver 2 into Blood Omen 2. So it's very hodgepodge, patched together kind of nonsense. Not remotely as good as any of the other games, but still fun. Get some outtakes.
The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient.
Good one.
It's a lot of chat, isn't it?
Indeed.
It's so great. Poor Simon, I go, and? He did what? And he goes into 3 pages.
Sitting down and taking a rest
And
whenever he
it's
starts
so
to talk.
great. That is so fun.
So we're getting some pops on Parasite Poetic.
Poetic parasite. Wouldn't that be oetic irony? The biggest parasite of them all.
39, 919.
You stay here. I'll go and warn the others. I'll go and warn the others.
Be gone! You are not welcome here!
One of them were just a little easier. 906.
Be gone. You are not welcome here.
Renee?
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. Amp up that accent just
A little bit. I thought it had disappeared a little beyond the pale.
Uh-oh. Let me out of the room.
License to kill. I don't know.
Licenses. The scenery and me will go.
I fear you have been followed. You must save yourself, Raziel. Janos, no! Oh, that's your line.
But I like the way you did it.
How did I do it? Was it okay?
It was so good. That's the way I'm going to do it. George Burns. As Janos into the blade.
How many voices do you do?
Just one. I mesmerize you to think that it's more than one.
It's a hypnosis trick.
Yeah.
I'm under a spell right now.
He's the man of many voice.
The man of one voice and just think it's 1,000. That's all.
Embrace your destiny, Razia. You must reclaim the Reaver. It alone was forged for you, and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
Good. Renee, you gave us an extra alone.
It alone was forged for you, you alone. But I liked it.
It alone was forged for you, and you alone, it was for you alone. I'm dying. Give me a break here.
Oh god. Y'all can get this game yourself and check out the other outtakes. What else we got hidden in here? God, so cool looking. The fuck? Nah, that ain't Mobius. Ah, boy. Oh yeah, Renee Albert, yeah, he died too. Oh yeah, Paul Catherine. Oh yeah, President Johnson from Metal Gear Solid 2. That's right. I knew I remembered him from something else. Never actually watched Breaking Bad, so that's not true. I watched like the first episode. Oh yeah. Care card. I remember seeing these posted on the IDOS message boards back in the day. Hell yeah. That would be cool to see in a remake, is the cracked stone skin interpretation of Janos. Be cool. Historical timeline. Oh yeah. yeah. There's your timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly nonsense. Shit. Where's all that shit? Okay. Yeah, these are just all for Soul Reaver. The original Soul Reaver. Lore. Trailer. Yeah, let's see a trailer.
You nearly had me, Raziel.
Do what you have to do.
I know you're there, Raziel. These were the pillars so familiar to my blighted eyes.
Even in the trailer, the Zelda game is being whipped on by all this
Redeemer
bullshit.
and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny.
Hell yeah. Oh god. Here we go, lemon. Ooh. The trailer counter that's not even in the game. There is. Oh, that's the script, isn't it? There is. I think this is how it got reverted to the original graphics. Cool. It's amazing how much cut content there was from the original Soul Reaver as opposed to Soul Reaver 2. Even though Soul Reaver 2 feels exceedingly more truncated than Soul Reaver 1 does. So yeah, original throne. Cool. Right. Oh no, Black Void. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 God. Oh, well. Okay, and that's enough of that. But yeah, that's Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered. I love the series. Again, it's a shame it's basically a dead series. I know they're selling these to try and see if anybody's interested in the series anymore. We'll see how well they sell, so go out and buy it. We need more Soul Reaver. Remakes and continuations and all that good stuff. It would be fun to have a remake of Soul Reaver 1 with the option of doing both endings. Like the original Blood Omen had the 2 different endings. So it'd be fun to do the 2 different endings in Soul Reaver. You could even hint to killing Kain, not fixing everything. But yeah, that is Soul Reaver 2. We'll see what we play next time. But for the most part, that's this. Want to embrace a release of Blood Omen 2 and Defiance. I'll buy that shit day one. Just like I bought these day one. I'll buy physical copies even. I don't give a fuck. Technically, I do have Defiance on Steam, apparently. I see it in my 500 something game list as one of the things I bought in the past. I think I bought the original Soul Reavers too. I think you can get the original Blood Omen on GOG. I think. Do not quote me on that. Because it was only on the PC and PlayStation 1. But obviously it's not on PlayStation 1 anymore. But I think it's on GOG. Put it up on Steam too. Come on. Don't be cowards. Put it up there. Blood Omen 1 is clunky as fuck too. It's like a clunky Link to the Past. Go see the original killing of the Circle, Mordor slaying them all, and Malik showing up fashionably late, which we see now is Mobius's fault, being punished by Mortanius by taking his soul out of his body and fusing it to his armor, so he's a living suit of armor. Malik is such a fun character. Of course, Mortanius, also voiced by Tony Jay, mysteriously enough, who was the architect of all of the problems in the original Blood Omen. But spoiler, but we're well past spoilers since you've seen most of this stuff now. Some more interesting things, such as the final boss, Hash-Ak-Geek, the demon, the fire demon that looks suspiciously like the fire demons you have to fight at the end of Soul Reaver 2. There's so many little things in this series that like tie together, but it's nothing bringing them together in some cohesive package because they never fucking finished the story. Defiance. Go play Defiance. Defiance is fun. If they release it, we'll stream it. If they release the remaster versions, we'll stream it. I'm not going to stream the original one since there's a reason to believe we can wait for the remastered ones now. But yeah. Okay. We might do some trophy hunting on these. I don't know. It'd be fun to have 100% on both of these. It'd be a bit easier to finish the Soul Reaver 2 in under 6 hours when you're not completely lost. And I apparently completely missed the glyphs in the original Soul Reaver. I'd completely forgotten about. There's like 6 of them. And they're 100% optional, as you saw. I didn't collect a single one of them in the game. I don't think they have any story related to them either, so we didn't miss out on much. But they all have trophies tied to them. I was looking through the list. I was like, oh, wait a minute. But yeah. I will see you all next time on whatever the fuck we stream in the future. But that's Soul Reaver 2. See you, everybody. So, real quick, jumping back in here, sort of a post-credit scene, I guess you could call this. Apparently, I did get the finish the game within 6 hours achievement. I don't know how the fuck I did that, since the save file says it's over 6 hours. It was like 6 hours and something minutes. But right there, you can see I got the Vampire Champion, complete the game within 6 hours. Maybe it doesn't count the cutscenes. I don't know why. I don't know. But, and see, I told you that one's in there too. I just don't know why it didn't unlock. The Scare the Crows achievement from the balcony, the Dark Forge balcony. But yeah, there you go. Our playthrough of Soul Reaver 2, we got 70% of the trophies for Soul Reaver 2, and 64%. Oh, great, can't load. Fantastic. There we go. And 64% with Soul Reaver 1. But yeah, I just had to jump back in here and point out that apparently we did actually get the under 6 hours. Alas, port in the Proctor. Anyway, once again, see you later. Bye, everybody. I'm really going this time, so don't stick around for a second post credits, because it's not going to be there. So get out of here. Go do something else. I got stuff to do. I don't know what I'm going to do, but go away. Just go on. I'll see y'all later. Aloha.